Hello, Flosstube. I'm Heather. Link is my homeboy. Today is Thursday, July 1st, 2021, and this is Flosstube number 40, the big 4-0. Yay! Thank you for joining me. If you are a returning viewer, then thank you for coming back. I really appreciate your support. And if you are a new viewer, then welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for checking my channel out. I have had a recent uptick in subscribers. I think that's probably because of StitchCon. So if this is your first video since StitchCon, then I hope you like what you see and you stick around for the madness. So it's been over a month since I last recorded, although not technically, because I did record once I got back from StitchCon and the file corrupted. So here I am finally re-recording. Life updates. So the past month has been a little bit busy for us. My son lost his third tooth. So he's got 3 teeth gone down here and he's only gotten 2 of his adult teeth coming in. And he's also had his birthday. He turned 6 and we had a dinosaur themed birthday party for him. And of course I went to StitchCon, and so prepping for StitchCon and then going to StitchCon and then coming back, my kids got sick. They had some sort of cold. And then my son had his birthday and his party, and then I came down with whatever that cold was. So yesterday I was finally starting to feel better. I hadn't stitched in almost a week. But I think I'm finally getting back to better. If you hear me, it's because I've still got a little bit of that leftover, and I'll probably be drinking throughout this video, which I don't normally do. I know other people do, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I just know some people it does bother. So just keep that in mind, please. And then what else for life updates? I knew there was something else. Oh, my husband, he is switching his schedule again. So he got a different schedule that's going to work better for us once Lincoln starts school later this month. So currently he's working Monday through Friday, noon to 8:30. And now he'll be working 6 a.m. to 2:30, but he'll have Wednesdays and Thursdays off. So, but that'll be great because when Link starts school, he'll be able to pick him up on his way home from work. Because the school he'll be going to is basically on the way home from my husband's work, the way he takes. So, and we are planning on having him be a car rider. We're not doing the bus. The bus was a horrible experience for both me and my husband. So, we don't really want to do that for him. So yeah. But I know you're here for stitching, and I've got a couple of things over here. So I've got a tote here with all my normal update stuff. And then I've got a box over here full of all my StitchCon stuff. So what I plan to do is to go over all my normal stuff first. And then I will try to remember to post a timestamp of the of where the StitchCon stuff starts, so that way if if you're only here for StitchCon updates, I guess if you want to be able to plan your time so you know that, hey, the regular part only takes 20 minutes or whatever, then you can plan accordingly. So now some of the stuff I do talk about in the regular Stitchy update is gonna kind of go into some of the StitchCon stuff because, because like, for example, I have an FFO. FFO is a fully finished object. So it's when you take a finished piece of stitching and you turn it into something. So one of my FFOs here is Birds to the Bows. This is Birds to the Bows from Lindy Stitches. I apologize for the glare on the reflection. This is done on a piece of 20 count Ada in Purple Passion. It's either a Witchelt or a Zweigart. I don't know. I got it off 123 Stitch. And I did, I would say a majority of them are the called for DMCs, but I also did sub in some color and cottons, and I made a couple of color changes here and there, I think. Like, for example, I think this heart here is supposed to be like all green, but I decided to do the purple, or the blue with it. And then this frame is a frame I picked up at Goodwill. And it's kind of redneck framed, redneck engineering, because I couldn't find the what is it, the craft tape or framer's tape or something, to put over the craft paper. And when I was running out of time going up to StitchCon, because I wanted to put this on the brag table, when I was running out of time to go to StitchCon, I just said, you know what, I'll just stick a piece of cardboard on the back to hold it in place, tape it in place, and then whenever I get the chance or find it, then I'll redo the dust cover and everything. That way I can hang it on my wall. So, I did also FFO something else. However, I don't have it in my possession because it was my small for StitchCon. But I did take a picture, and I will insert that picture here. And so this is Starlings from Owl Forest Embroidery. It is a freebie on their website. And I just finished it into a, what is it called? A mounted flat. And I did some cording with a coordinating color around it, and just a simple coordinating color, backing fabric and ribbon to, for the recipient to hang. And unfortunately I didn't get I really didn't get a name, and I didn't get a picture with the lady who got my small. I know she posted about it in the group though, so I will look up her information, and I will put her name on the screen here. And then if she has like an Instagram, or I'm almost positive she didn't have a Flosstube though, because I don't remember it being listed on her name tag, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Bad Heather. And, but yeah, she, and I gave her a skein of some silk and a tumbler, like a nice reusable tumbler. Cause, I remember my first year going to StitchCon and going, oh, they don't have cups here. Like I couldn't, excuse me, couldn't get like a bottle of water or anything. So I was like, that would have been helpful my first year. Now I brought one with me this time because I knew, but yeah. So, and then, as far as finished objects, FOs, I do have a couple of those as well. And you'll just have to bear with me because I am kind of digging through my bag here. So I will try to make it as quiet as possible, but I can't really promise silence or anything here. Okay. So, I got, so Lizzie Kate Spring Smalls. I had started Buzz like 2 years ago, because I bought this at StitchCon 2019, and I started it like 2 years ago, and I had to have been at least 60% done with this, because I finished it in a couple of hours, because it's a monochromatic design, and I'm just like, I'm kicking myself because it sat there for almost 2 years. But it's done on, do I have a note of what it is? This was an even weave I picked up at Keepsakes in 2019. It's like a violet kind of color. I don't remember if it had a dyer's name on it or anything. And then the floss is called Old Santa from Color and Cotton. So it's a nice, it kind of variegates between like a light maroon and a pale red. So, and I don't know if this is 32 count or 28 count. Based on the size of the stitches, I would say 32. And then next up, I do have another finish here. This is Spiderweb Mandala from Punochka. And it was in the 2019 issue of Just Cross Stitch, the Halloween issue. And there's that. I started this in 2020 for my Halloween Ornamania. And I did the same basic color scheme, but I did have to change them a little bit because the colors they called for, they kind of clashed with the fabric. And the fabric is 32 count Lugana in Vampiric from Under the Sea Fabrics. So that'll be a fun little ornament to make. I don't think I've ever made a round without a hoop. And I don't plan to waste any hoops on my ornament finishes. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Let's hope I don't ruin it. Next up, I have Spring Hair Etching from Heart and Hand Needle Art. This was in the 2020 spring issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. This was a hard copy, and yes, I am a heathen and tear my magazines apart. And there it is. And this was done on a piece of 32 count in Reflection from Mystic Fabrics. And it was done in a couple of color and cottons. So I kept the basic color scheme, a brown and a pinky red. And I love him. He's cute. And I do plan to do the other, this was a series in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher in 2020. Is that what I said? Yeah, 2020. And so there's a winter cardinal. There's I think there's owls and there are autumn, and I think the summer one is fish. And I do plan to do all of them, and switch them out with the seasons eventually. All right. So that's it on my FOs, or finished objects. Okay, so last time I was in mid-mania last time I spoke with you guys, and I think I had, I'm sorry, I'm a mess today. Just bear with me, please. If you're new and you stick around after this, then hallelujah, thank you. I'm looking at my notes here. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 of my Frosted Pumpkin Manias left to start. And I only got 1 of those 4 started. So let me find the new one. The one I started is called Stretch Those Legs. And it says stretch those legs and find some eggs. It's a little Easter themed one. And there's my start on that one. Apparently we're stirring. And I don't know what, it's 14 count something. I think it might be a Picture This Plus, but I can't be certain. I don't have a tag for it, so I can't tell you. But it's a mottled, like, pinky peachy color. So yeah, I kind of failed on Mania. The 3 that I did not start were Lucky, which is a St. Patrick's themed one, and the other 2 of the Squad Ghouls, which were Zoe the Zombie and Drake the Vampire or Dracula. So I've just put those back into the kitted hoard that I have, and I will get to them at some later date or time. And then I did have a couple more new starts here. And this one I was kind of doing, I'm supposed to be a co-host to this Sal with Abby Topknot, and I forgot to talk about it in my last video. And I don't think I've posted about it on Instagram at all because I'm an asshole. So this is Wild Violet Cross Stitch Garden Door. And I'm doing option color or colorway number 2. And I gotta see how I'm supposed to hold this because I barely even started it. Yep, that's my start. That's it. This is done on a piece of 14 count Ada. It's like orange. It's kind of like a grungy orange. It's got like splotches of brown. I believe this was home dyed by Carrie of House of Floss and Fluff. And I'm just doing the call for DMC on it. And I do plan to get back to this soon. I'm sorry, Abby. I am a travesty. And thank you for putting up with me. I have one more new start here. I think that's the last of my new starts. Yes. The last of my new starts here, and I will just have to insert a picture because there is no cover photo for this. So I couldn't print it out. This is Rick and Morty from Stitch's Lovers Shop. And I've barely gotten a start on it. just the tippy top of the outline of Rick there. So, yeah. But that's gonna be a fun one to get going. And this is just 28 count Monaco in white, which I picked up at probably Michael's or Joann's when they had it at one point. Okay, so whips. I've worked on a lot in the past month. So I did put a little bit more work into my Strawberry Froyo Party from Frosted Pumpkin. This was a start in May for Mania. And I did put some more work into it. Not much. Am I holding this the right way? It's this way. Okay. I apologize. It does look like titties. So, fried egg titties. The red's not helping that either. It kind of makes it look like it's like a chicken thing. I don't know. I'm a 12-year-old, okay? Just leave me alone. And this is done on a piece of 32 count opalescent Lugana from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. It was part of a special like Halloween ornament pack she had, but I thought it looked a little more melty ice cream kind of thing. So I have gotten some significant progress on Lindy Stitch's Peacock Keeper. And I do apologize for glare and noise and putting my head in front of the camera. I don't have anything taken out of bags or anything like that. So, like I said, I'm a travesty. This is Peacock Keeper from Lindy Stitches. And this is being stitched on 32 count Jobelin in Petunia from Color and Cotton. And it's my own conversion of Fancies. And I am now at 4 out of 6 pages finished. So, yay! Just the 2 pages over there to finish. And this has gone past its 2-year anniversary, so I would like to get this done fairly soon. I'm trying to be reasonable. I think I can have it done by the end of July. I think. I make no promises, but I think. Next up, we have some work on Halloween Ouija from Tiny Modernist. This was the Halloween sal that she did in 2020. And I'm doing this on a piece of 32 count Jobelin in Tombstone from Color and Cotton, which was in her her Halloween mystery box in 2019, 2018. I don't remember. And I've got some work on the house there. So I'm doing, there are several different colors in here. So we've got black, we've got white, we've got, I think it's 535 dark gray. We've got some sort of color in cotton gray here. And this is some sort of Mo's sale. I can't remember what it's called, which is brew, which is something, I don't know. Let me look. The color in cotton is chimney sweep. The Mo's is witching hour. So that's another one that I would really like to have done by the end of July, but I don't know if that's a stretch, considering Peacock Keeper would definitely be priority over that one. And next up, we've got a little bit of work on map here, which is my Light World map from Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. This is the freebie pattern from Sprite Stitch. And I am into page 3 on that one. And there we go. So switching from the grays of the clouds down to the browns and the greens of the desert and the rest of the forest there. And we finally got some Zelda minders on there because I had these pins my husband got me for Christmas one year, and he was like, oh, you could turn it into those things to hold your needles. And I think he got me those for Christmas of like 2018 or 2019. And yeah, it's 2021 and I finally did it. I am nothing if not dedicated to the things I want to do. All right, next up we have the Blue Flower Night Walk Down. It says Night Walk Down the Sky with the Moon in her hand. And my roomie, Holly of Stitchy Prose, had wanted to start this at StitchCon, which she did. And she told me to bring mine and I could work on it a little bit. And so I did, very little bit, but I started kind of getting some of this stuff worked down into the next page below here. And because I had all these parked threads from where I finished the first page and started working them down into the page below. So, which this page down here is very, very small. Like I'm almost at the corner on this one. So, and of course, you know, I want to work on this again and, you know, not enough time for anything. Oh, and this is being done on a piece of 32 count Lugana in Changing Leaves from Under the Sea Fabrics. It was a fabric of the month in 2019, I want to say, 2018. And I should have ordered an entire freaking yard of it because it's absolutely gorgeous and it didn't like win or whatever to be part of a regular line. So, oh, and I'm doing a full color and cotton conversion as well. So, pardon me. Okay, next up we have Atlantis from Owl Forest Embroidery. And this one is still in the Q-Snap because I do plan on working on it again a little bit later today. So I finally got the big ass house done, the big underwater mansion here. So, which I'm happy about now because I'm not usually like, I don't really like big ass houses. Big ass birds, yes. Big ass houses, not so much. And it was just kind of a slog trying to get through that house. So I am definitely happy that that house is done so that I can move on to some of the other more exciting parts of the design. I think I'm gonna have a page finish soon on that. It's basically broken up into 3 pages because you could get each section with the big creature in the center there. So they had one that has the seahorses, and then they had one that has the big old jellyfish, and then one that has the big old octopus. And you could get them separate, but then if you bought this one, then it was all 3 just mashed into one. And so when they have the pages on this one, they just, each page is each of the other designs. So I am almost to a page finish on that one. So that'll be exciting. I have also worked on my Cozy Cafe Sal from Frosted Pumpkin. That's their Sal for this year. This is the most recent edition. And I think last time you guys saw it, I only had the peppermint mocha done with the cafe menu up there. And because that was January, this was February, this is March, this is, no, Heather. This is the release from June. This is the release from May. This is the release from March, April. This is the release from March when it started. Did I confuse you? Because I just confused the hell out of myself. And even though it's in the Q-snap, I will go ahead and take it out of the Q-snap for you. Just bear with me. Or at the very least, I'll just pop off these sides so you can see the whole thing. And so I got caught up right before they dropped the newest one. And I spent I spent yesterday stitching most of this. So I do hope to have this done in the next couple of days as well. I won't bore you guys by putting it back on the Q-snap right now, so I'll just shove it in my bag. And that's being done on a piece of Picture This Plus 32 count Lugana in Heartland, I believe. And oh, the last couple I didn't mention, did I? Oh no, Atlantis is done on the 32 count Blue Marana that came in the kit, and my map is done on 18 count Off-White Ada. We're almost there, guys. I promise. Okay, so the last thing I have worked on, the last whip I've worked on, is I finally brought back out Sleepy Hollow, which was the Halloween Sal from 2019 from Tiny Modernist. And I had the first section, the second section, I think the second section I need to put stars in, and then I'll be done with that one. And then the third section here, I have gotten the rest of the words done, and I've started filling in the the witchy here. There's a cauldron and another witch right there. Would have been helpful if I would show you the cover photo, huh? So yeah, I had this one all done. I think I need to fill in the stars on this one. And then I've got the 2 witchies and their cauldron to do, and then like this pumpkin and fence thing, and then like all of this one I gotta do. So, and again, this is something that's gone over its 2-year birthday as well, so I would like to get it done fairly soon. Because this was gonna be like one of my big things to put on the brag table in 2020 at StitchCon, and then of course that didn't happen, so I kind of lost motivation on this. But I'm keeping it in the Q-snap right now. I haven't worked on it in a few days, but I'm keeping it in the Q-snap in hopes that like I'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that up and go ahead and work on it. We'll see how that works. Okay, so I believe that's it as far as whips and finishes and things of that sort. I do have a little bit of haul I want to tell you about. So I got a package. This is from Deanna of Darling and Whimsy Design, and I am model stitching for her for her perennial potions. Here's the fabric and floss. I haven't started it yet. Sorry, Deanna. But yeah, I know she doesn't care that I show off the color scheme. But it doesn't take long to stitch those up for me, even with me being persnickety about the stitches and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. I just need to get around to get it going. So excited about that color scheme. I think there's like a green that I need to add to, or two greens maybe, that she forgot to include in the when she sent it to me. But that's okay. I can certainly pull them from my stash. No big deal. And a little bit of haul here, a little bit of haul, a little bit of haul. This was a Pass the Stash from my friend Natasha. She's on Instagram and Flosstube as GusMom2000. If that's wrong, I'll put the correct one on the screen. And she had done this, and she asked if anybody wanted it. I love those little funky mushrooms. They're so cool. And the little gnomes. So, it says, rain, rain, go away. This is from Fairy Wool in the Wood. So, and then from Sharon, I also received a couple of Pass the Stash. She's got all of the seasonal squirrels from Blue Flower, and she's finished these two, so she sent them on to me, winter and summer. And also, I claimed this from the boutique in the Daily 30 group. It's the Fairy Tale Sampler from Dragon Dreams. It's got some fancy stitches and stuff. I don't know. I saw someone had finished this recently in a group on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. That's really cute. And then we do the boutique thing, and I was like, oh, hey, okay. So I snagged that up. I don't know when I'll start it, but you know, it's okay. Doesn't matter. Let's see. I also received my fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics. I get the 32 count Lugana fat quarter. This is called Imagine. It is a beautiful purple, it's got like that explosion pattern. Like, that's what I call it anyway, because it's kind of got the and it's purple with like undertones of blue, like big blue undertones. So, love it. Love it, love it. Don't know what I'm using it for yet, but nice to have in the stash. Also, Mystic Fabrics, Miss Misty. She does Pride fabrics every June, and she puts those in what she calls her fabric games. So she has a website, and she has certain colors that she'll, dye to order and stuff like that. But she also, like when she's testing her dyes, or, when she's doing something like the fundraising she's doing during June for she does various charities. I think Trevor Project is one of them every year. But she does special Pride fabrics. And so I snagged a couple of those. I've got me a piece of By Pride. This is 32 count Lugana. What's that? An eighth? An eighth maybe? And then I also snagged a piece of 32 count Lugana in, standard rainbow. And I have a couple more pieces of her Pride fabric from the past couple of years, or maybe last year. And I don't know what to do with them, but I love them anyway. And then she also had some 32 count Lugana in Dreamy. This is a fat quarter. She had that up in the games, and I snagged that. This is the color that she created for the unicorn tapestry from Tiny Modernist from a couple years ago. That was released at Market. And I believe I'm going to be stitching along with Amanda of Stitched Pixels. And she got some opal of this, but there's a couple of other pieces that have come from Tiny Modernist. There's like Stitching Goddess and Folklore or Folk Embroidery Sampler or something like that, that kind of have that same idea as the tapestry, but they don't come off as magical to me, so I didn't want to do them in opal. So I thought this might be big enough for both of those. I'll find out. You'll see at some point if I do. And then I found, this is actually while I was at StitchCon, but you know, Holly and I ran to Target and they had a tie-dye banana. Whoa, Heather, can you talk? Bandana. I like to pick these up in their, what's it called? Spots Playground. Used to be like the Dollar Spot or whatever. They usually have these all year round for the different holidays and stuff. And so I like to pick them up because I think they'll be good for like backing fabrics or accents or something like that if I were to like, you know, stitch something for that holiday or whatever. And there is, well, I'm not a huge fan of patriotic pieces. There is one patriotic piece that I would like to do, and that's the it's the Frosted Pumpkin seasonal saying. It's got the, I don't remember what it actually says, Stars and Stripes and Liberty's Lights or something, and it's got Statue of Liberty and everything. And I do want to turn it into a cube finish, and so I think this will be good for that. Okay, more haul, because it's been a month, and although wait till we get to the StitchCon stuff. We're 35 minutes into this and I'm still not at StitchCon yet, so I apologize. So Forbidden Fiber Company had shown that they were doing a Hunger Games floss pack, so I had to get it because I'm a slut for anything Hunger Games. This is called Quarter Quell, Panem, Nightlock, Tribute, District 13, and Capitol. So, which I just watched the Hunger Games the other day, actually. I don't know what I'm going to use them for. It's Hunger Games. I just had to do it. And then, this is kind of exciting. This is a new color from Stitchy Box, Stitchy Silk. It's called Witchy Waters. It's this really deep, like turquoise greeny color. And they had, I won't necessarily say a contest, but they had a call out on Instagram for names for it. And I'm the one who suggested Witchy Waters. So they sent me a skein of it, which I thought was very nice of them. So I can't wait to find something to use that on. Let me pull out my big old honkin' box of thread because here's where part of my haul is. So I purchased some labels for my DMC. And look how pretty they are. They're nice and bold and they fit the bobbins and they come in pretty colors. And these are from, I don't remember her shop name on Etsy. I will, of course, link it below, and I'll probably put the name of it on the screen, but she's Sarithri on Instagram. And I know her from back in the Sprite Stitch days. But that made, this just made me so happy because I am legit OCD. Not, I guess technically I have OCPD, which is obsessive compulsive personality disorder. It's really true OCD if it affects your, if it affects your life and how you do things in your daily life. Mine is just, I guess it's the clinical term for type A personality or anal retentive. But it was starting to really bug me because my flosses before were all, some of them had handwritten numbers on them. Some of them had numbers like on the left side. Some of them had numbers on the right side. Some of them had those old DMC labels that were starting to fall off. And so that's why some of them had like Sharpie on them. And so this just made my heart really, really happy. I spent a couple of days relabeling all of them. And it was also a good way to figure out if I was missing colors, which apparently I was. I was missing about, I don't know, 8 or something. And it was a good way to figure out if I was missing colors, because if I didn't have that color to put that label on, then it was not there. So, but I do have all of them now. So I do have a full set of the main like cotton DMCs. So, and I bought and paid for those. Like, she didn't send them to me or anything. This isn't an ad. She's not sponsoring me. I just really love them. So I suggest you go get some. All right. And last little bit of haul, I promise. So, Memorial Day weekend, I think, I finally got to meet up with Jaffe. She's known as Climbing Stitcher on Instagram and also on Flosstube. She's not a video creator, but she comments a lot. She's a really big supporter of everybody. And she lives in my city. We both live like opposite ends of the city though. And so it literally takes me an hour to get to her. Well, I went and spent a day with her up where she lives. And on the way there, I stopped at Persnickety Stitchers, which is in Zionsville, which is, so like I'm down here, Zionsville's up here, and then she's like way over here. So, and I picked up a couple of things. So I got Strawberry Cow from Tiny Modernist. This was her contribution to the Moo the Merrier from Expo this year, the first Expo. And then I went ahead and picked up a pink, a yellow, and like a turquoisey color. So I kind of did some on the fly converting. And I wanted to make sure that, you know, even though I didn't really need anything, I wanted to make sure that I supported, you know, a small business, and especially being an LNS, because that's probably the closest one to me. And, you know, even though I've only been there twice, it's just nice knowing that if I need something, I might be able to go up there and get it. So without having to wait on something. Okay, so that's it for the regular portion of the video. Thank you for joining me if that's all you were here for. If you want to check out for the StitchCon portion, that is totally fine. I'm gonna clean up my regular stuff and then I'll come right back with my StitchCon stuff, and you won't even know. It'll just kind of transition into it. So be right back. Welcome back if you're sticking around for the StitchCon stuff, or I guess if you just went ahead and skipped to here, then welcome. If I met you at StitchCon, then hello, welcome back. It was nice to have met all of you at StitchCon. I don't remember all the people I met, but I had a delightful time. So if I talked to you even for a minute, trust me, you made it worthwhile. So, okay, so StitchCon is a retreat held in Sharonville, Ohio, in the United States. It is, as far as I know, the largest retreat. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Nicely, please. And this is the 3rd year. Yeah, because 2018 was the first year. And it was small then. I think it was only like 75 people then. And then 2019 was 400 people. 2020 got canceled because of COVID. And then 2021, there were actually 2 weekends. Weekend A, which is the one I went to, and weekend B, each was a maximum of 300 people. It is run by Keepsakes. That's the LNS down there, like just down the road from the convention center where it was held, the Sharonville Convention Center, which is just outside of Cincinnati. And, you know, Keepsakes is the LNS of like Pam and Steph. Steph works there. Barbara Hills is the owner operator of Keepsakes, and also Nicole of Buckeye Stitcher, who no longer has a channel. She's on the the planning committee, as well as the entire staff of Keepsakes as well. So yeah, so I went to weekend A, which was from June 10th through the 13th. It runs from Thursday to Sunday. I drove down on the 9th. Originally, I had planned for an extra day to go to Kings Island, which is a local amusement park, roller coasters and all that. And it became clear the closer we got that it was not going to be possible. The weather, just no. So I went and got a tattoo instead when I got down there. So I got down there, I checked in, went and got a tattoo, and I went to a place called, I've got a sticker, Old Hearts Tattoo and Arts. So I got my tattoo done by a guy named Ross, and it is 2 pink carnations, which in the language of flowers a pink carnation represents a mother's love. So this is to represent my 2 children. I didn't want to do the traditional mother's tattoos where you get the footprint or their name or whatever. No judgment on anybody that does those. That's just not what I wanted to do. So yeah. And then I also found out that apparently the carnation is the state flower of Ohio, so it kind of has a double meaning. I was like, okay. And I got it done while I was down in Ohio for StitchCon, so kind of cool. So let's see. Got there, checked into my hotel, went and got my tattoo. Went back to the hotel, started doing some unpacking, waited for Holly to get there. Holly of Stitchy Prose. We roomed together at the La Quinta. So the Sharonville Convention Center has a Hyatt connected to it. I stayed at the Hyatt with Jaffe in 2019. I was a little less than impressed with the Hyatt for the price difference. I get it if you didn't have a car and wanted to be able to get to the convention center easily, because there's literally, it's connected to it and everything. There's a hallway that goes between the hotel and the convention center. So I totally get it. But I drove down because I only live about 2 hours away. And oh, I forgot to mention, pardon the sniffles, I'm so sorry. If any of them are particularly nasty when I'm editing, they'll get cut out. So on my way down, I stopped in Batesville, which is about an hour and a half south of me on the way to Cincinnati. And it is the home of Misty of Mystic Fabrics, the lovely lady that I get most of my fabrics from. Natasha, who I mentioned earlier, Gus Mom 2000, she's a part-time employee for Misty. She does some of her ironing and serging and stuff like that. And so since I knew Natasha was going to weekend B of StitchCon, I had messaged her and said, hey, do you want to meet up for lunch when I'm on my way down? And she said, yes, that'd be awesome. Is it okay if Misty comes? And I'm like, yes, it's okay if Misty comes, duh. So we went to a place called Pearl Street Pub, and I had what was it called? A smash and trash, I think is what it was called. So it was a burger. It was double patty. It had jalapeno or like pepper jack cheese, bacon, fried jalapenos, they were like battered and fried, kind of like onion rings, but jalapenos. And it also had mayonnaise and a red pepper jelly on the burger. And then it came with fries, and it was absolutely delicious. And I think we all ended up getting that. All 3 of us. I had looked at the menu beforehand and I was like, ooh, a patty melt, that'd be great. I would love to try a patty melt. And then I got there and they had that on the specials, and I was like, oh, Now I'm gonna get that. So, yes, I stopped and had lunch with them, talked with them for a little bit, and then left there and made my way to my hotel, checked in, got my tattoo, came back, did some unpacking while I waited for Holly to show up. So then Holly got there, and we kind of just sat there and chit-chatted, and we exchanged little gift bags with one another. So we both made up a little gifty bag for each other. And I gave her a stitched piece, which is this. I took a picture, so I'll insert that picture here. It's a little sunflower from, I think it's called Summer Still or Autumn Still Life from Owl Forest Embroidery. And I took just that sunflower out of the center, and like it's actually overlapped by a couple of things, so I just, you know, repeated the design or whatever and made a little small hanging thing. And I also included some other stuff in there, but I can't really remember now. I know I gave her like some gummy snakes, and I don't know. But yeah. And then she gave me a bag of awesomeness too, with this little stitched piece in it. It's Chip from Beauty and the Beast. And I believe she said it's Amanda Rink's design. And I love the frame she chose for him. He's going to go up on my wall in my bedroom, where all my, like right above my craft desk, to where all that stuff is. She also included this bag of scraps of all sorts of different fabrics. I mean, there's lots of linen in here, but there's some Aida, there's some even weaves. And she said it's all a bunch of offcuts that like her and her mom have dyed, and her mom has serged all of them. So like even the smallest pieces in here are serged all the way around. So she knows that I like to do a lot of smalls and stuff like that. And I was like, heck yes. So it was that awesomeness. And she also stitched me an It's You I Like. Probably going to pop it into a little frame and just stick it on my wall. She also included some needle minders, which I'm dropping all over the floor. Hold on. So we've got, she made up 300 of these for the needle minder exchange. So we've got Jack and Sally on some candy corn there, and Cinderella, and it says, I did not marry for money, and she's winking. So that's funny. I was like, ooh, sassy princess. She also included a Nightmare Before Christmas Love You More Studio Co sleeve. So, yay. And a trivet, because I never find trivets here. She popped out the tile, and I guess her and her mom had like sanded them down and repainted them so it looks nice. Which I knew she was giving me this because we were trading. I was giving her one of my scissor frog. No, not scissor frog. The little dish thing that has the little flowers around it. Flower rug? No, I don't know. She also included some face masks, a card, and this little Halloween box with a couple pairs of earrings. I'm wearing one of them, and then the other one are these. Very cool. A few little fancies, which this is Karen Water Lilies in Mediterranean, and Color and Cotton in Tutti Frutti, and Wimbledon, which that's perfectly named because it looks like a damn tennis ball. And some floss drops that her husband 3D printed, and they're in her logo colors, which yeah, I, as part of like StitchCon weekend, she debuted she did a debut of her website and also her first cross-stitch designs that she has designed. So she's got Stitchy Prose, that's her logo and her business card. And then there's all the information on the back. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. It might not. It's probably not going to. But it's got her Instagram, her Flosstube, her email, and her website, which I will, of course, link all of this below. And I purchased one of her Summertime Sunshine. This is a sunshine drum. So she did the Summertime Sunshine sampler, which big ass house alphabet, not really my thing. However, I will probably buy it eventually because I want to support my friends. But also, I do love this drum, and the drum is so cute in person. Her mom did all of her finishing, so cute. And then she also on her website has a scissor pouch and scissor fob that the proceeds go to Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. So they're only online. You can only buy them from her website. And I will link all of this below, of course. And then she also revamped or rebooted her Flosstube. And she talks about these designs. So I would highly suggest that you go watch her newest, I guess it's really her only one. She went ahead and just kind of redid her redid her Flosstube. I would highly suggest you go watch it to see what the meaning is behind all of those. So then after we exchanged gifts and just sat there and talked for a little bit and kind of rested from our travels, really, she had a lot farther to go than I did. We ended up going to dinner at a sushi place that's just down the road from the convention center. I went there in 2019 and I was like, hey, if you like sushi, we could go there. So we went there. We made a quick trip over to Target for a couple of things that we had forgotten. And then went back to the hotel, and we were both tired. So we were in bed by 11. Then, so Thursday is when StitchCon actually starts. They open up the room at noon, registration and all that. I didn't want to be there right at open because I knew in 2019 it was a zoo, as far as how busy it was. So I opted to wait a little bit, but she went right at open. And she said it wasn't that busy. She had texted me and said, come on over. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was finishing getting ready and everything anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. We got there, and of course we're greeted by Pam and Steph and some of the other organizers. And this year they gave us this little, I don't know what it's actually called. I mean, it's a single strap backpack, and it's got the Stitchcom logo on it. And inside it, I'm going to pull all the stuff out for you. So inside it was a mask with the Stitchcom logo on, which I would say 98% of people there were not wearing masks. I didn't wear my mask. I am fully vaccinated, and I just wasn't concerned about it. So, and then we got a packet here with our name on it, and inside that packet was all of our the Stitchy bus schedule, restaurants near, things that were happening around the area during StitchCon in case we had spouses or children or whatever with us that weren't going to be at StitchCon. It also included the StitchCon passport, which has, among other things, it's got information about It's got information about the StitchCon team, the itinerary, the hours and schedule for the Stitchy bus, the annex, a few freebie projects, or a few freebie patterns in there. It's got a list of the Flosstubers that are going to be at StitchCon. As far as I know, it wasn't split between the 2 weekends, I don't believe. Because I want to say, I don't know, because I definitely see a couple people on this list that were not at the first weekend. So, and it's got places to like make notes of your like friends or stuff, something like that. But I just started putting people's numbers in my phone. And then we got a freebie chart, which is for the year, which is this logo, just in a cross stitch form. There's a coupon to use at keepsakes later in the year. A pen, says StitchCon on it. Of course, our lanyard and our name tag. And this cute little thing. It's an ornament. So it's got Ohio on it. It's got the little heart for Cincinnati, Sharonville. And it came with a little poem. It says, "A work of art, a poem for stitchers. As you stitch the hours away and snip the odds and ends that fray, drop them in here for a colorful array, and I'll brighten the tree for your holiday." So I have ornaments for the last 5 years. I've been saving my orts since, I want to say 2015. 2016. And so now I'll already have an ort jar, or an ornament for this year. And I'm going to stick the little poem in the back, maybe, if I can arrange it somehow. Or maybe I'll just, I wonder if I could just get a sticker made or something and put it on the back. I don't know. That's an idea. But yeah. So that was our little gifty. And yes, I'm cleaning up as I go. I'm sorry. If I don't, it'll be a giant mess, and I don't want to clean it up at the end. So yeah, we got that, went in, and there was, all the tables are spread out, and everybody's, sitting down wherever. Holly had already claimed a table and had a space for me. And so I went over there and plopped my stuff down, and then kind of started walking around and talking to people. They had like 3 or 4 tables lined up for freebies. So there were, I didn't do too bad at the freebie table over the weekend. I didn't grab nearly as much as I did when I was there in 2019. I kind of went crazy in 2019, and some of that stuff went back on the freebie table this year that I had claimed in 2019. So I was a little choosier this year. But I did happen to find some fairly good things. I won't go through everything, but I found a few Lizzie Kates. I found a Mill Hill pizza slice. It's just the pattern. There's no beads or anything, but that's fine. Let's see, Country Cotton Needleworks, Summer House Stitch Works. Here's a little kit for a witch's hat. I could definitely turn that into a little ornament. Little kit. Boohoo Stitches. Like I said, I won't go through everything. I'm just kind of flashing a few things. Plum Street, Tiny Modernist, Words to Live By, more Summer House Stitchworks, and these are like, Pennsylvania Prim Friends and Prim Tapestry. I don't know if these were like kits for some sort of club or whatever, but they're full kits with like finishing stuff and everything, and they're cute, and so yeah, I'll take them. And there were plenty of magazines up there as well. And I kind of went through and tore stuff out and everything. So I won't bore you by going through all the stuff I found up there. Flosses, finishing fabrics, finishing trims, other fabrics, a pair of scissors. I saw needle minders up there. I think there were frames and, not frames, but like Q-snaps and hoops and just all sorts of stuff up there. So, but yeah, so I didn't make out too bad, I guess. Now, I did put, this box was, I don't know, half full. So I dumped that on the table there. So I don't feel too bad taking as much as I did. But I think I was modest. I mean, I saw people carrying stacks of stuff that they found. So I don't feel too bad about mine. But yeah, so I visited the freebie table over the weekend. And some stuff ended up back up there because later I was like, I guess I don't really want this, and I would go put it back or whatever. But yeah, Thursday, spent a lot of time just talking to people, and looking at all the stuff on the brag table. And then we had the welcome ceremony that night, and we got to visit the annex, which is trunk shows and like a pop-up shop basically, in a room across from the room where we were all together. And I know I've been ignoring the axolotl in the room. This is Arlo. He's a lamp, or a light, I guess. Gina of Hanging by a Thread gave him to me. I saw her. I finally got to meet her. We live literally like 30 minutes away from each other here. And the first time we meet is at freaking StitchCon in Cincinnati. But yeah, she saw me on Thursday and was like, here, I got something for you. And I'm like, what? So it's a little axolotl lights. He's so cute. He's one of those ones that like you can change the colors and stuff. I just like it to do the rotating colors. But yeah, apparently she was getting her daughters some of these for night lights and saw the axolotl and was like, oh yeah, Heather's gonna need that. So Heather has it. And but yeah, I named him Arlo, the axolotl. So he's adorable. He sits on my craft desk, and I like when I'm sitting there and putting stuff away or whatever, then I like to turn him on and watch him spin through the colors. So so then Thursday, yeah, we got done. We went to, so then me and Holly both did the late night stitching room, which is held at the La Quinta. And we sat around and talked with people and did some stitching and just hung out and everything. And then, let's see, I think that was the night I got an hour and a half of sleep because I was just so hyped up that it was hard for me to go to sleep. And then I was getting up early because I was going to get duck donuts, which, if you don't know what duck donuts is, it's kind of like a build your own donut. They're kind of like bougie donuts. They have all sorts of different like flavors and toppings and stuff like that. And they're, fresh made and everything. So I went to go get those, and then I did my first trip to the annex that morning because during the preview the night before, I saw this project bag and I had to have it. Those are Christmas dinosaurs. Yes, Christmas dinosaurs. Look at them. Look at them. Look at his little ear flap hat. Look at those mushrooms. It kind of looks like tropical if it weren't winter. Yeah. I mean, Halloween dinosaurs would have been better, but dinosaurs, Christmas dinosaurs, hell yes. And that's by Lynn X Stitches Creates. And she does a Flosstube. She has, I don't know if it's an Etsy shop or not. I'm going to link it down below. There's going to be a ton of links down below for this episode, just so you know. But yeah, so I got there and it was there. And this is big enough to put like an 11 by 11 Q-snap in it. So, I love it. And yeah, I'm so happy I got it. And Holly picked up the other one. I think there were two of this print. So, and when I went in there the first time, I grabbed me a couple of pieces of fabric. I got me a fat quarter of 28 count Lugana in Cosmos from Under the Sea Fabrics. No idea what I'm going to put on it. Didn't think about that part. Just wanted to buy it because it's pretty. And I also picked up a piece of 32 count Lugana. And this is from, it's not named, it's from Jody of the Steel City Stitchers. And it's like a pinky, peachy, orangey, reddy kind of color. That's, it's a little bit lighter than what's coming on screen, but it's close. So, and then I also picked up Talon Emblem Tiles, and this is called Love Bugs. I saw the model there, and I'll probably do them separately. I don't think I'll do them as one piece. Like this one's done as a little pillow. I'll probably do them separately. And I also picked up this Cicada Needle Minder from Myriad and Maker. It was Brood Etch Stitch. There were t-shirts too, but I didn't do a t-shirt. I just wanted the minder. Because the cicadas were everywhere. Everywhere. And everybody was a sissy and screaming about them. Me, I was just kind of like, oh my God, they're so stupid. They're dumb. They're not going to do anything. And so I was rescuing a lot of my friends but yeah, that was constantly, pretty funny. And on that first trip, the last thing I picked up was the French Kitchen. This was a set that was done by Summer House Stitchworks and Hands-On Designs. So these are the two that are Hands-On Designs. These are the two that are Summer House Stitchworks. And I have the little charms that were, like, there's like a thing that's supposed to be like a box, and I think it says French Kitchen on it. But I'm not interested in that one. And there's a thing where you could do like cording and then put charms on it. And I got the charms during Expo earlier this year because I knew I wanted to get these eventually. So, yeah, now I have them. Now I just need to figure out what I'm going to stitch them on and how to display them and stuff like that. So that was it for my first trip to the Annex. And that was on Friday. So then Friday afternoon, was it Friday afternoon? I think Friday afternoon I was in the Smalls Exchange. No, I wasn't. What did I do Friday? I think I pretended like I was going to sit down and stitch and did about 20 stitches. But I got up and did a whole bunch of walking around, I think, honestly. Did some needle minder swapping and things like that. And then they did some raffle drawing stuff that night. And I got to introduce Holly to White Castle. So that was fun. If you don't know what White Castle is, it is, it's kind of a Midwest staple. And it's little burgers, little sliders. And they're good. I don't know. They're good. She liked them, so that was good. And then Saturday, I was in the Smalls Exchange in the AM. And I already showed off the small I made in the first part of my video, but I'll go ahead and insert it here in case you skipped straight to this. This is Owl Forest Embroidery Starlings. It's a freebie on their website. And I stitched it in, you know, Stash Dive Fancies on a piece of grab bag, color and cotton even weave. So, and I received, the one that I picked was this lovely little piece, stitched by Maureen, who does not have Flosstube or Instagram. And she included a beautiful card and these little coasters. It says, "Life is better at the beach. Take me to the beach." Because I believe she lives near a beach. And then also a needle minder that says, "Floss Girl." So that was cute. And now that I've shown it off, I can hang it up on my wall. Because I'm going to put it on my, I'm going to put it up on my craft wall with the rest of all of my interesting, with all the rest of my like FFOs that I hang in my room. So, and then let's see, Saturday I did my exchange and basically left because Holly and I went to, we wanted to go to Keepsakes, and we also wanted to go to Jungle Gyms, which, if you're not familiar, is this gigantic grocery store. And they have all sorts of food from around the world. You know, candies, breads, meats. Like I saw things in like ostrich eggs and balut eggs and duck eggs, and they had all sorts of cheeses from all around the world. They have you know, all sorts of candies and drinks and noodles and pasta and just a whole bunch of stuff. And so we went through there, and you know, I bought a whole bunch of like sweets and stuff that my friends from other countries have told me about, and just I haven't been able to get to or whatever. So and they had pickled bologna, which my husband loves because he's from Kentucky and he's a heathen. And ew. But so I bought some of that for him while I was there. And we also, now, before we went to Jungle Gyms, we went to a taco place called Agave and Rye, which is like bougie tacos. And we had a taco that had kangaroo on it. We had a taco that was like herb chicken with like some other stuff on it. We had one that was, it had like a Nashville like fried hot chicken piece on it with like a giant fried tater tot and mashed, or not mashed, macaroni and cheese. And then there was another one we had, was like a mahi or something. And it was absolutely delicious. So yeah, bougie taco place. And then we went to Jungle Gyms, and then we went to Keepsakes, and then we went to the to the stitching room for a little bit, and that's when they did the raffles. It wasn't Friday night, it was Saturday night. Saturday night they did raffles, and then we went to the late night stitching room again that night. And then Sunday was the day where we had to like pack up and leave. So, and Barbara of Keepsakes always does a take it and make it. And so this year it was a keychain with the year 2021. And like last year, I think it was like a tassel of some sort. I couldn't find mine, but it was like a tassel of some sort. And this year it was like precious stones or gemstones, whatever you want to call them. And this is banded agate. And I couldn't really find a good description online of what banded agate really was, like what it was supposed to represent. It seemed like it represented like a bunch of different things. I don't know, but she said pick the one that spoke to you. This one spoke to me because it looked cool. So and I made some connections that I can't believe that like I'm friends with these people now. So Rika of House of Stitch and Stash was there, and I finally got to acquire one of her lovely bags. Been trying forever. And I actually met her in 2019 at StitchCon, and we didn't really get to talk much. She was sitting with a bunch of people, like a bunch of the bigger floss tubers and stuff like that. They were all sitting there together, and so there was constantly people coming up and talking to them and everything. So I never really wanted to butt in or anything. But I think in 2019 I went to dinner with her and a group one night. I also got to meet Caitlin of Madam Ice, and she gave me this cute little pouch and these cute little needle minders. And I got to meet Rocio of Cocohamas Stitchery, and I got me a little gazpacho needle minder. And if you are, this is like a adult warning, I guess. There was a running joke over the weekend, and she stitched me a piece, and it's a little inappropriate. So if you're a child or offended by weenies, then look away. But she stitched me this adorable piece that she made up off the top of her head there. So yeah. Like I said, it was kind of an in joke. So that was just like a running joke through the whole weekend. Because I brought Cards Against Humanity, and we played that quite a bit during the late night stitching. There's something to be said about playing Cards Against Humanity with people you know, like friends and family that you know, and you know what cards are going to get them. But then there's something completely different about playing with people you don't know that well, because you don't know what you're going to do to offend people. And, luckily no one got offended by anything. There were a couple of times where cards came up and people were just kind of like, no. But we didn't, but nobody got offended. Nobody was, we know it's just a game. So, and nobody was harmed in the making of the game. So, but yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with Rocio and Andrea of the Stitchy Bookworm, and Lydia of Lydia's Leisurely Stitching, and Holly of Stitchy Prose, of course. Gosh, who else? I got to meet Carla of Roladex Stitches. She's a hoot. I didn't get to spend as much time with her as I wanted to, but she was a hoot. And Nicole she's on Instagram. She's not on Flosstube. I drink and I stitch. I'm going to link everybody below. There's going to be lots of links below. So I'm going to miss somebody. Oh, Colleen, Rebel Stitcher. I got an Elvis fan club. He's so cute. Gosh. Oh, Jackie and Justine, who don't have a floss tube yet, but they're supposed to. Get with it, girls. But I got needle minders from them, but we also, I also spent some time with them. They've both got Instagrams. So there's Justine and Jackie. They're sisters. And they're supposed to be starting a Flosstube soon. So, when they do, I'll be sure to let you know. I also got to see the Sunshine Stitchers again, which I saw them in 2019, and they were handing out this was such a genius idea. The floss drops that have their name on it. I was like, that's genius. And then Gary and Ronny of GaronTottenbags. I never know how to say it and I hear people saying it both ways, so I don't know. But now I got to meet Gary in 2019, but Ronny wasn't there. But this year, both of them were there. And they were handing out little wooden needle minders with their logo, and also Ronny's favorite green on a keychain here with their logo. And Cindy of the Sneezy Stitcher had these needle threaders with charms that she was handing out. These little beaded charms she made. I got the little lizard. He's cute. Because she was saying how she always loses these. They always like fall in between the couch and stuff like that. But if you have the little charm on it, they don't get lost as easy. I was like, that's pretty genius. And then there were all sorts of other needle threaders and needle minders that just kind of appeared on my table. And I don't know who most of these are from. Now, look at this. This is so extra. So much work was put into this. This is from Donna White and Diana Lewis in California. But look at this. Be happy, be kind. StitchCon 2021. It's got a little card. It's got a little floss drop, floss ring thing on it. Like, some serious thought was put into this. Like, I don't even want to use it. I just want to keep it all bundled up like this. But yeah, needle threaders, floss rings. Someone did one that's got like Ohio, some more floss drops, another needle threader with a bead on it, all assorted needle minders. And I didn't bring enough needle minders to swap with everyone, but some people were just like, take one. Some people made enough for everybody. Some people, they were just like, oh, I like you. Here, have this. But I did plenty of trading and everything. And I think overall over the entire weekend, I did maybe 200 stitches. Because I spent a lot of time talking with people. And my thing was, I can stitch at home. I can't go to a table full of stitchers and ask them about their stitching when I'm at home. So I know some people maybe don't get to stitch as much at home. And so sitting down and stitching was their top priority for StitchCon. But for me, and being more extroverted than most, I think, in the stitching community, I think I've said that a million times. COVID hit me hard. Thankfully, we kept our health. Thankfully, my husband had a job that he had to work. And so financially and physically, we were fine. But I'm an extrovert, and not seeing people hurt me a lot. I did not enjoy. And I know it's still going. I know it's better. It's getting better. And, we've still got plenty to do to, get out of this and be done with it completely. But the weekend of StitchCon was exactly what I needed. I felt so much better being there and talking to people and seeing people. So, it was amazing. It was amazing. And, I can't wait for next year. So, because unfortunately I know that I'm, even if there are other, events happening and retreats happening and stuff like that, I can't afford to go to all of them. So, But yeah, if I forgot to mention you and I met you, um, I'm sorry. um, it's been like 3 weeks since and I've been sick in that time, and I've been busy. And like I said, I tried to record and get a video up sooner where I was probably talking about more of the people I met and everything. But just know that even if I didn't specifically mention you, that I'm going to do my best to, link you below if I remember you afterwards. Or I know that I took pictures with quite a few people and I tagged them on Instagram. So, and I still didn't take nearly enough pictures. I mean, it's better than the 4 I took in 2019 and then like scrambling to get pictures with people the last day, but I still didn't take nearly as many photos as I really wanted to, but I was just kind of in the moment, I guess. And just enjoying being with my people. So, all right, I have definitely rambled on more than I really thought I was going to. So I will see you guys again in a couple of weeks with a regular update. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, happy stitching. Bye.